Sometimes, as you begin to listen, not just with your ears, with the deep parts of your mind that already know the way, you might discover that understanding it isn't something you need to do, it's something you already are. You're learning without trying to learn, aren't you? You're not really focusing too hard now. But also, more than ever before, something curious is happening. The you that used to be is already updating. Because beliefs, they're not bricks, they're clouds. And clouds drift, evolve, reshape, until suddenly they rain and nourish everything new. So let's begin with a story. A child once fell down, scraped their knee and cried. But it wasn't the pain that hurt the most. It was the meaning they gave the pain. I'm weak, I'm broken. This always happens to me. And in that moment they made a decision. But now you're not that child anymore. And decisions made then can be remade now. Just like a file rewritten, or a path rewalked, with new steps and stronger legs. And this is the secret. The reality itself isn't real. It's a loop of beliefs, emotions and focus. And what loops can do is change direction. As you focus on combining all these ideas, beliefs and concepts and install them unconsciously as a new belief system, let's not call it healing. Let's call it remembering who you were before the world told you to forget. Let's call it choosing again, choosing to feel safe because you say so, choosing to grow because that's what you do, choosing to be resilient, not because life is easy, because you've always survived the hardest parts. And if you're unconscious, or to model resilience as a system, wouldn't it begin by realizing that growth comes from adversity, and that adversity, strangely, always shows up before you level up? Wouldn't it notice that you're enough, not because of what you do, because of what you are? Wouldn't it start behaving as if change is already in progress? There's a trick, a hypnotic trick, called future pacing. You imagine a moment when the new belief is already true. So let's do that now. Just pretend in 6 months from now. And imagine yourself looking back. You handled things differently. You paused when triggered. You breathed. You responded. You chose curiosity over reactivity. You surprised yourself. Now do you feel that sensation now? That growing sense of, I really am changing. Don't you notice how quickly the old programs just feel irrelevant? Because old beliefs only survive in old emotional states. But when you self-regulate, when you take a moment to breathe, when you anchor calm and choose love, the old belief system, it has nothing to attach to. And in that new terrain, you begin to rewrite identity. So let's go deeper. Because in this deep structure of your unconscious, there's a library. And in that library, there's a book called Me. Wouldn't it be wild if the chapters titled trauma, fear or shame are only half written? Wouldn't it be powerful to realize that you are the author now? That page by page you get to decide. This part shaped me. This part strengthened me. This part ends here. That's exactly what resilience is. Reframing without flinching. Let me tell you something curious. The brain doesn't distinguish well between what's real and what's vividly imagined. So when you vividly imagine safety, peace, strength, you begin to build the neurological architecture of freedom. This is not metaphor. It's neuroplasticity. It's re-imprinting. It's installation. When you breathe into that, say it with me now, quietly inside yourself. I'm safe now. I'm growing now. I'm building the version of me that already exists in potential. And if you say those words, whether softly or loudly in your mind, notice how your body responds. That's integration, that's programming, that's power. Let's confuse the old self now, because confusion precedes transformation. The caterpillar must dissolve before it becomes something that flies. And isn't it interesting? And the more you try to remember who you used to be, the more you're going to feel who you really are now. Let's stack the beliefs now. Failure is just feedback. My energy attracts my reality. I'm emotionally sovereign. My presence is my gift. Authenticity is magnetic. Boundaries are bridges to self-respect. Growth is inevitable. Love is my baseline. All problems contain their own solutions. Everything is temporary. When you live from the core, when you breathe from that baseline, when you wake up with those presuppositions already installed, life becomes a very different game. Now here's something hypnotically true. The strongest frame always wins. So what if your frame, your unshakable internal stance, was, I transmute pain into purpose. I lead myself through chaos. I live in truth, act in love, and radiate strength. You see, the unconscious loves certainty. So give it certainty. In the form of embodied decisions, in the form of patterns, habits, and powerful rituals. Because structure creates safety, and safety allows transformation. So create structures. Morning breathwork, midday grounding, evening gratitude, self-talk rituals, inner dialogue hygiene. These aren't habits, they're spells, repeated words, repeated meanings, repeated identity, cast over and over until the unconscious says, this is who we are now. And who are you? Let's ask. Are you the one who got hurt, or the one who healed? Are you the victim of the story, or the author of the plot twist? Maybe you're both until now. Because now, the loops are closing. The new operating system has already begun to install. Every cell, every nerve, every synapse is learning this. Safety lives in me. Power flows through me. Healing is my baseline. And somewhere deep inside, a part of you already knows. Something massive just shifted. So as this new belief system installs itself more deeply, more quietly, more completely than ever before, you might begin to notice, even when you're not thinking about this anymore, you're becoming this already, now.